Hey guys, today we show another restoration project I've been working on, and this video is for Josh, who owns this really nice 1979 era Minimoog. And as you can see by the wood, I did a lot more work to this one than I typically do to Minimoogs, and I do not claim to be a wood expert by any means. This is actually something I did, and I've done this twice now. This is the second Minimoog I've really spent time, sanding and staining and all that kind of stuff. But for those that have seen my history video of the Minimoog, you know that just from that video I talk about from 1978 to 1980, Moog uses this flat brown stain. It was just flat brown. You couldn't see the wood grain, and in fact I brought a chassis in here just to make this video that you can see of just that flat brown color. I mean, there is no wood grain really, it's just flat brown. It's really what it is. It's the only way to describe it. And so this was one of those. And not only was it that, but it had set in an ATA case at some point, and the foam had attached to it, so it looked like it had the mange. So what I did to this one is I sanded it all out. Just to give you guys a tip that want to do this to their Minimoog, because I don't claim to be a woodworker at all, but this is my method, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. Is what I did is first of all, just make sure you sand these things really good. You got to sand it down. Use different grades of sandpaper. Start with a pretty coarse sandpaper, and then work your way to a finer sandpaper, because you have to make sure you get all that old stain off. And that stain's pretty hard to remove. So do that. And then what I did on this one is I used Minwax products. I use Minwax pre-conditioner. So it's actually a pre-stain conditioner. And what that does, that just makes sure that when you actually go to apply the stain, that you don't have any like weird bubbling. It all absorbs into the wood evenly, basically. And so your coloration is easier to match as well. And then what I did is I actually used Minwax Early American as the color of this one. And I don't know how this is coming through on my actual video, because on my camera it looks really dark. But it's not as dark as this video is making it out to be. Maybe I can get... There we go. You can kind of see it there, maybe a little bit better. But anyways, that's Early American. And then what I did after I did a coat of Early American, I think I did one coat up here, and I had to kind of match some of this other wood, so I did an extra coat on some of these pieces that were lighter, just to kind of uniformly match the coloration. And then what I did is I used a Minwax semi-gloss polyurethane, and I put probably about 6 or 7 coats of that, sanding between the applications. So you get a good bond. And then I just let it cure for about a week. Just make sure everything cures really good. And it turned out really beautiful. It turned out way better than I had really imagined. But it's amazing the wood grain that comes through that's underneath that flat brown stain. I mean, this is factory. This is a factory chassis. So this ain't something special I went and bought. This is the factory chassis you're seeing. And you can just see all the colorations in all the wood. It's just, I hope you can see it. I don't know how it's coming through. Of course, I'm going to add pictures anyway, so you guys can see this in some good sunlight or good lighting environment. But yeah, it just turned out really good. I'll walk you around, just kind of show you everything here. I also installed new knobs on the interface. These are brand new sets of knobs, and that helped the looks as well. Sorry, the train's coming through here. But yeah, you can just see the wood grain. The back of it is really pretty as well. You can see all this beautiful wood grain once again that comes through. It's just a very unique pattern. It really sets off the looks of this thing. And I'll walk you on around here. Let you see this side here. But yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It turned out so good. I did the top piece here as well, across the top. And also the little one place, if you do decide to sand and stain yours, don't forget this little block right here, because I actually had to go back and redo this one because I forgot about it the first couple of urethanes, and I had to go back and redo that one. But yeah, you can just see kind of how it looks. It all blends really nice. It all looks really good. It's really sharp. And like I said, I'm just really impressed with the cabinet of this one. Amazing what's under that flat brown stain. And this is just a fine example of what you might have under yours. So really impressed with it. So besides the cabinet, everything else was my typical work. I went through it, Replaced all common failure components, did upgrades where needed, rebuilt the keyboard assembly, new key bushings, key alignment, contact bus cleaning, clean all the pots. And what's nice about this particular Minimoog 2 is I don't think it has too many hours on it, because when I actually was cleaning the pots, I open up the pots. I take the pots apart, because some of these pot values are kind of hard to get, and even if you get the same value of today in another pot, it don't have the same response, I found out. So keeping the Allen Bradley pots is sometimes critical in these things. And so when I actually opened up the pot, there was very little carbon wear, which is fantastic. So that lets me know this one has not been played too much. And the keys have a little wear in them, but I think it's mostly just from that ATA case, that foam. You know, like some of the black keys have, like, you know, some bad edges on them and stuff. But besides that, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Now you'll see a handprint right there. It'll rub out. But anyways, that's what I did this one. You know, just went through it, and I did a full calibration as well. So 12-hour burn-in after I did, you know, all the work to make sure all the new components hold up. This has the version 3 oscillator, which you guys have heard me talk about in my history video. So if you hadn't watched the history video, I recommend you watch that as well. It's 60 minutes long, so, you know, take some time. But I go through all the changes made to Minimoog throughout the history here. But anyways, with all this said, let me put the camera on a tripod. I'm just going to show you how this thing sounds, and let you hear it as a unit now, because it sounds about as good as it looks. It's a great Minimoog, and actually Josh plans on taking this one on tour. So this is a perfect Minimoog for touring, because it has the version 3 oscillator board, which is rock solid. It uses, as you'll watch in my history video if you hadn't already seen it, it uses UA726 thermally regulated transistor pairs. And what that is actually a can with a heater, so it heats up above ambient temperature for your exponential current converter, which is where the unstableness comes from. And it heats up above ambient temperature, so it never is affected by, you know, room temperature and stuff. You don't have to worry about it. And so it holds stability really well, as you'll hear. So anyways, you can hear. But you can hear how accurate those oscillators are in all the footages. They hold the tuning very well. So we'll start with each oscillator. I turn off all the oscillators except for oscillator 1. We'll go to the range and the waveforms like I typically do. I'll get this thing to sustain for me here. Clean volume pot. That's oscillator 1. Oscillator 2. Also, I'll show you the volume right quick. So you hear the volume pot there. Oscillator 3. Oscillator's back on there. anyways, you can hear the oscillators. They work really well together. Now I'll show you the filter right quick. We'll go here and make it self-oscillate. I'll show you how it tracks the keyboard. So we turn on 440 Hertz. So here's just the filter. That's just the filter you're hearing there. And of course I'll go and show you the envelope generator too for the filter, or the contour. I'll turn it down in frequency so it don't... Turn the amount of contour all the way full. That's your attack time. And control the amount of that. Get a really long decay time on this. So that's your decay time. You got your attack time. As you can hear, you've also got your sustain level. Anyways, you can hear how that works. So that's your filter with your envelope generator or contour. Open the filter back up. I will show you the noise source right quick. I always forget the noise source here lately. So here's the noise source. That's your white, pink. Once again, clean noise volume pot. You can hear the filter and the response of the resonance there. So you hear just how great that thing sounds. It's got a really good resonance. So that's your filter. I'll also show you your loudness control right quick. So we're going to turn this down. And we'll go to a really fast decay. It's just a click. Decay time. I'm going to turn it all the way up because it takes forever. But we'll go back to 0 decay. Bring up the attack. Your sustain level also works. So you can hear, your contours are working great. Of course, you've already heard your 440 Hertz. I'll show you your modulation source right quick. So we'll turn Oscillator 3 into LFO source. And I'm just going to speed up a little bit. We'll actually start by modulating the oscillators. So you can hear how that works. So that's your modulating of your oscillator. We can also modulate the filter. Now the magic of the version 3 oscillator is that it actually does hold really good tuning. And so if you do detune just a hair, I'll detune oscillator 2 just a hair from oscillator 1. There it is matched. Slightly out. Shaking my whole room right now just to give you an idea how well that sounds. Just slight detuning on that oscillator. So that's your modulating there with the filter. I also show you that some tricks here. Keep tracking off. anyways, you can just hear how great this thing sounds. And also, since we're in the modulation section, I'll show you also your modulation mix between your noise and Oscillator 3. So we'll go here and we'll actually turn the oscillators back on. Turn this back to LFO source. Flat off. What you can hear is you can hear Oscillator 3, and we can engage the noise into the modulation mix. So it's going to mix with both. And something else you can notice too, I've never really explained this, but you can actually switch your noise that's actually coming out of your noise mix. So we got pink noise or white noise. And you can hear the difference there in the two noise types. So, anyways, that's your Minimoog, and Josh may actually be coming in today to look at this one. I think he's actually coming to pick it up today, so we might do a little video with him, just kind of seeing it and see how that goes. But anyways, guys, take care, and there'll be more to come here very soon. Take care. Hey guys, today I'm going to introduce you to Joshua Riggins, which is one of my clients here, and I'm going to show him the Minimoog that I restored for him here. Yes, so let me turn around here and just lay down a little right here.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Dude, this is...
Yeah, he told me I could just keep it. Yeah, he said he wasn't happy with it, so.
Phenomenal.
That filter, it'll hurt you if you're not careful.
Wow. Dude, this thing, man, it sounds amazing. It looks amazing. I mean, I have zero complaints. This is amazing.
It's a way different instrument than it was, isn't it?
Completely different than what it was. It came in, it was all jacked up, the sides were messed up, paint was in that nasty brown color, and apparently had sat in a case, so all the foam was on the sides, and man, it looks brand new.
I'm so happy you like it.
Man, Synthpro, amazing guys, amazing.
Well, I appreciate it very much.
Amazing.
Well, are you in any bands? Are you having a place people can check you out?
Yeah, so I tour with the R&B group, Jagged Edge. So hopefully after the COVID, we'll be back out. So be sure to check us out sometime.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Well, Josh, appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
And
absolutely. This is